The thousands of drones that have been flying over New Jersey this last month probably tonight should be headed home with banners all saying, "Mission accomplished." We are returning to base with a 100% achievement rate for everything we set out to do. Don't be surprised if you see a catastrophic collapse in the number of reports of drones in the next few days. Why? Well, the FAA has issued bans now on people sending up drones, but more importantly, they've already achieved their mission, and it has been announced what that mission was. People just aren't putting the two and two together. Under the heading "Criminals Do Not Obey Laws." We've used this meme for a great many things, and it applies once again. Nothing is going to change in Washington, D.C. I'm sure of it now. It doesn't matter whether it's Christmas or whether it's after January or next year. Nothing's going to change. A bunch of billionaires sat around, Jeff Bezos and Ramaswamy and Musk and Trump. They all sat around Mar-a-Lago last night having dinner. And I don't think the topic of conversation was the well-being of the American people. But real quick, as always, want to express gratitude. Thank you to everyone who has continued to join us over at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel. You guys are making a huge difference. We have a brand new video we're going to have up this weekend, and it's going to be covering a topic that is probably the single most controversial topic I've ever covered over there. There's some new statistics out about quote-unquote employment in America, especially amongst women, that I think a lot of people are going to want to see. It goes also to the idea that things are far worse than anybody's letting on. If you'd like to join us over there, this new video is going to be for the Need to Know Roundtable because of the controversial nature of it. And of course, unit commanders, brigade commanders, $10 and $15 levels, respectively, you are welcome to sit in. Now, last week we did a video for everyone, 22 minutes, and covered topics that we can't get away with here on YouTube. And I want to dovetail into today's video just by sharing something. If you don't believe me about the censorship, if you don't believe me about what you have to do to survive here on the internet, go ask the Patriot Nurse. She went to Patreon long before I did. The censorship hammer dropped on her in 2017. It didn't really hit me too bad until about 2018. There's huge swaths of videos that she has had to delete from her main channel and pretty much survive over at Patreon. So I'm just saying, it's not just me. It's not just me doing the censorship. And I'm sure a lot of people would scratch their heads. Wait, 2017, wasn't that under Trump? Yeah. Yeah, as soon as Trump took office, the mass waves of censorship began to hit. And like I said, don't believe me. Don't believe me. If you think I'm lying, if you think I'm making it up, ask her. Ask her about what's coming, about what's already been experienced by a lot of people on YouTube and different platforms who have alternative views. That one day we might have to be saying, hey, wait a minute, you forgot to put the 3 extra crickets on my sandwich because my social credit score, I got extra points this month. Some of us have already lived this. Some of us have already lived this. But real quick, Florida Maquis, you're wasting my time. What is the announcement? What did they say? Multiple states bring back face mask rules as doctors warn of quademic of viruses this winter. Huh. This week, strangely enough, out of all 50 states, New Jersey's largest hospital system, RWJ Barnabas Health, should we say Barabbas Health, reinstated its mask requirement for all staff, patients, and visitors, even though the state's COVID infection rate at the moment is low. The system, which treats 3 million patients a year, said Monday that staff will provide new masks for everyone who walks in the door and may ask you to replace your own mask with a hospital-supplied mask as part of the mandate. So now it's not even good enough that you bring a mask or you wear a mask. You have to wear their mask. Visitors will also be required to sanitize their hands before entering hospital buildings. Now, all this probably seems fairly innocuous and fairly harmless to some leftists out there, but guess what? Wait until I get down to the meat of this. You're going to love this part. Same thing in San Francisco. They're doing this. Hospitals in New York have also urged patients to mask while indoors and, of course, get quadruple vaccinated against COVID, the flu, and RSV, and norovirus, everything else. That's the quademic, by the way. That's the quademic, the four. RSV, COVID-19, flu, and cold. That should say norovirus. Sorry. RSV, COVID-19, flu, and norovirus are the four that we're talking about. Mask up on public transportation. Signs of an impending quademic. Now, you ready for this? Here's the map with all the breakdown of where the highs and lows are. New Jersey, of course, not one. Florida, not one. California, not one. But it gets better. The system also said, you ready for this? The system also said that patients with a fever, cough, muscle or body aches, or COVID or flu-like symptoms should stay at home and not come to the hospital. Mark that down, about 6 minutes, 15 seconds in the video. Yes, that's right. The hospital said, if you're sick, don't go to the hospital. If you're sick, you pay those insurance premiums you pay for. That massive amount of money they take from you every month so that you have insurance so that when you get sick, you can go to the hospital. Yeah, the system, this Barnabas Health said that if you're sick and you need medical treatment, stay home and do not come to the hospital. Even though the CDC is saying that wastewater data suggests that COVID activity is low and deaths are at historic lows, surveillance, ready for this? However, surveillance shows there may be a slight uptick in infections. Isn't that interesting? I wonder, they couldn't possibly have been spraying. No, they wouldn't do anything like spray, like something that might cause people to maybe have some immune systems that are compromised, and then they get sick. And then, of course, when they get sick, don't come to the hospital. Don't come to the hospital as per the hospital system. And you see anybody who might decide, you know what? I'm sick of these drones. I'm going to fly one of my own up there and knock it down. Yeah, you see the FAA is going to say, now you're the problem. Now you're the problem. The FAA, this is December 19, 2024. Travel Pulse by North Star, the Federal Aviation Administration issued a ban on operating drones in several places in New Jersey through January 17. Wow, 3 days before inauguration. So the ban gets lifted 3 days before inauguration. That's strange. So, once again, remember Congo's mysterious flu? Remember the video that I did way back on the 13th? A week ago, saying the only reason they have to have a drone that size, that big, that heavy, that low is they're spraying something. There you go. And I would be remiss if I didn't give a huge shout out, of course, to Lisa Haven and Justice Knight over at Restricted Republic. Lisa Haven earlier today put up some very, very useful and helpful COVID-19 facts. Here we go. And this, of course, we all learned from Facts First, CNN, and the government. The virus can travel 6 feet. It cannot travel 6'1" or greater. If you're at 5 feet 11 inches, you're in, risk of deathly harm. But 6'1", you're fine. It can live on all surfaces except anything that comes in the mail from Amazon. It does not, of course, live in Target, which was never shut down, Walmart, which never shut down, Home Depot, Lowe's, or any grocery store. It is, of course, harmless if you're protesting, rioting, or looting. It is only deadly in bars, restaurants, small businesses, hair salons, and gyms. It cannot live on your food as long as you get it to go. So, once again, thank you, Lisa Haven, Justice Knight, for filling us in on the Facts First CNN information that we all need to know going into this busy season. Now, I was going to, I better not. I was going to share a picture that I had set for what's going on with female employment. Other than in the Trump administration. Guys, I'm just going to ask it again. She's 27 years old. Has literally no real life experience whatsoever. And you make her the press secretary for the White House. Look, if it was just her, I might say, okay, yeah, maybe you want to put a pretty face on something. But the 9 or 10 or 11 others that pretty much all have this exact same layout, I guess, for lack of a better word to use, folks, something going on. Something is going on, and once again, under the heading, criminals do not obey laws. Join us over Patreon. The video that we're going to do coming up is going to have a lot to do with how much worse things are than people really know. And they're trying to put a good face on it. They're trying to let that tail wag the dog, so to speak, but it's just not going to happen, especially after they get the sales numbers for this holiday season. So I will leave it there. God bless. Pray for each other. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. Lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe. See you guys next time.